We're going to have HP Esports facing off with Ashland, let me say it right, Ashland University Gold in our final match here.
So we just saw Ashland on the stage. They did win in the game 3. Very, very consistent performance. As we talked about right before the break, match 1 and match 2, completely different play styles from all 4 teams. So it's going to be interesting to see. You know, maybe we do see Ashland land there again outside of Salty and rotate in, or maybe they hover on HP Sports, Esports, because they dropped at Fatal Fields both games. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they play that. But you know, this is going to be our final match. This is the finals. This is the winner will take this. The winner of this match will take home that grand prize. And it's going to come down to 2 teams that performed very, very well in their first 2 matches. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see both. If we just look at the 2 duos, in the first match, HP was super consistent. They seemed to have a really strong dynamic of sort of one of them was calling the shots and then backing up the more aggressive player. Ashland had a really good team dynamic as well, but they had a whole other sort of experience being constantly pestered by their competitors.
They really weren't able to breathe at certain points. They were trying to get away, and maybe some of those fights where they got knocked was just because they couldn't breathe. They didn't have the time, because HP Esports was left alone for most of their fights, and we saw them in Fatal take out 2 teams in the cornfields with almost no ammo. So it'll be very interesting to see, maybe with Ashland, maybe with some more space to breathe, maybe they're able to do the exact same thing. We haven't really seen them take on a full team like HP Esports, so curious to see if they're going to trail or if they're going to go do their own thing, drop in the same area or not. But
yeah, absolutely. It certainly seems like HP, at least in the first match, were set on playing their game. They had an idea of how they wanted to engage, and the patience they showed, especially that cornfield fight that you mentioned, super slow back. Like I think they between them had maybe 70 health for a bunch of those kills that they secured.
And I think they were under almost 100 rounds in all their guns between both of them. So really great composure, great patience there. You can see them there up on the stage getting ready. You can see the crowd there. You can see Ashland's coach right there, Coach Lang right there with the peace sign up, and then you see our little monster tower right there. That lone white monster may need to be.
Slipstream is an obvious choice. Everyone's kind of been taking that, but they don't have to follow each other. And I would be surprised if HP wants to give up on their very meticulous sort of patient play style in order to just go chasing after Ashland. But we'll see. It certainly gave, in the previous round, it certainly gave our HOL whole guys a fighting chance. It kept them in that match. If they had gotten a little bit better luck, it honestly may have won them their matchup. So see what HP comes out with. Good loot all around. Everyone's got
no one's got anything.
Some stuff. No shields on our top players there.
No shield. So it looks like Ashland and HP Sports both have. One player has some shields, the other one doesn't, and it looks like, in the bottom left on your screen, you're going to have the tactical assault rifle. You're going to have the combat shotgun and SMG with some smoke. So all these players have some decent loot to make something happen. But now it's curious to see if they're going to rotate away from each other, as we saw in match number 1 with HP Sports, or if Ashland's going to kind of hover them and see if they can pick up some of their kills, because there's nothing happening in Salty, and it looks like Ashland is actually starting to make that rotation out up by the divot and over here by the slipstream.
Yep, top right player, they're going to be the first one into the slipstream, moving up towards northwest. Looks like bottom right player is actually engaging. So that came upon someone in the divot, and his teammate is already rotating away from him there.
Yeah, and that is Servo from Ashland. So it looks like his teammate, you can see the mini map up in the top right of the screen, was rotating towards him. So kind of resets that fight, rebuilds, and gives the time to support here. So Chance does catch up here, give him the chance to maybe get a knock here and get an elimination. But as you see right here, a rift just came in. So I'm curious if that's this person's teammate or a whole other team that's going to try to third party the fight.
Yeah, well, it looks like the rift is going to be used for aggression here. None of those shots landing. A couple shots.
A couple shots from that drum gun. A little bit of a spray here. So looks like they're going to get very aggressive on this player to the left here.
Playing pretty passively, trying to make sure they understand the situation. It's like Ashland doesn't want to get pinched, but it may be coming in anyway.
Yeah, and the one thing that we haven't seen yet is we haven't seen any crazy plays yet. So I'm really curious to see if these players put it all on the line here in the finals, pull those sniper shots out. It looks like there was a tag up from behind, so they're completely swarmed. And as you can see in your mini-map, it looks like HP Esports is avoiding this fight, but they may have the perfect opportunity to come in behind, clean up some of these kills, or just leave them be, because it looks like health-wise they're using up some of those materials and getting tagged up here. So.
Yeah, Ashland here, kind of in an awkward engagement. It looks like they're not feeling the aggression, that edit coming in, the shot not paying off, but not a super confident fight so far. Sort of enemies scattered around throughout the
clean
build.
edits into that box. It does get that elimination there, so that puts them at 2 eliminations for Ashland here in our final game of the day. And it looks like HP taking a fight as well.
Ashland here, bottom right player supporting his teammate, but the trap comes in on the ceiling, and that thirst is going to come out. So Ashland is down
Ashland's down a player, but so that player had no kills. So we see bottom right hand, 2 kills only, no kills for HP. So they come in now trying to clean up here.
And the kill does come in for bottom left player there. So HP swings in, steals one of these kills. Ashland is down to 13 health for their entire team. It looks like a big 2 minis popping off there.
2 minis
big
and
pot
that,
on the
and
ground.
that big pot. Maybe he'll pick up that boom bow. Maybe stick with the redeploys here.
And since this was cleaned up, he will be able to get the reboot card as well. So maybe Ashland not quite out of this yet, but that was a nice move. HP coming in and cleaning up a kill there.
Yeah, unfortunately though, he's out of match, so he's going to have to edit his way back up here to grab his teammate's card. Shouldn't be too difficult for him, as we've seen the edits from these Ashland players.
Nice,
very, very clean, very easy for them. It looks like they practice. That's just something that they do every single day here. So now
HP just secured another kill though in the bottom left there. 2 kills now, so it is tied up 2-2 in this first round of this final matchup here. And HP farming some mats, but feeling the aggression.
There were some bandages there on the ground that the Ashland player left behind, most likely just trying to get to that reboot van. So hopefully there's no one lurking in Salty that rotated the Fatal that's going to be looking to fight him, because at this point, very under 115 health, one body from a heavy sniper is going to knock you, and you're exposed for a pretty long time on that reboot van. So we'll see if he's able to get that off and move back and collect all that loot.
Yeah, I think this early in the match, certainly a gamble sort of worth taking probably to get the reboot, get back up to full strength, but very exposed here. Going to try and tuck in under that angled roof for a little cover, but one headshot here could be the end for Ashland. It looks like the reboot might come off. Still have to recover, still have to get looted up on his revived teammate, but that is a good start to bring themselves back into contention here.
Yeah, and now both teams completely separate, tied game though, so I think it'd be very interesting to see, does Ashland heal up and push towards HP Esports, or do they play their own game? Both of them kind of at the north side. HP Esports is definitely trying to gatekeep here at the north side of the circle. They're trying to pick off anyone that comes out, and as you can see, these players right here are starting to fight.
Yeah, HP getting an engagement. They have the high ground, but most of shields peeled off of our bottom left player there. Looks like his teammates trying to come in and support, spraying down these ramps. The pressure not helping. 2 enemies over top here. Bottom left players getting pushed, using the building pretty effectively to keep making space. Getting one knock, but
gets a
another
knock
John Wick and another
so let's
player
see if his teammate gets a knock. He goes for 88 here. Can he finish this off? That's 3 knocks for this
down
team.
Players here.
There is a reboot van here. I'm curious if he's going to go and just try to thirst all 3 of these kills before he dies, because if that player comes in and gets the reses, that's points that they're going to miss out on. And if you're Ashland, I'm curious if they're going to start to make that rotation up, or if they're just going to... There comes, there goes the finish.
Coming out.
There goes the emote. I think HP Esports was the first team to emote in our first game, so it seems to be what they like to do here.
They definitely do not shy away from the mental game. It looks
here
like
comes I thought he was going to have that. This is the final player of this team, playing very passive, drops behind that brand new John Wick skin. I believe it's still in the item shop if you got some spare V-Bucks.
It looks like we're going to go over to Ashland here. Both players back up. And
if they're going to use this to throw themselves over to HP.
Oh, he did get that knock. Well, that was just another
That was
down
another
player,
knock.
so the John Wick is still around.
Yeah, the John Wick is the last one. Going to get that reboot card. There's the John Wick. Can he connect? He gets the trap
gets
off.
the trap
and he gets the elimination. And there comes the emote. So HP Esports going huge there. I mean,
big clip coming out.
That was HP himself going absolutely huge, getting a 1v3 elimination against an entire team to get the reboot, keeping his team in it. So that puts them at 5, 7, 6? 6 points.
5 or 6?
I think 6.
Like
I think
that.
they had 2, and then they got wiped the squad. So 6 points. So if you're Ashland, you're now behind 4 points, but they do have circle favor here. So they may be able to get off some easy eliminations.
Yeah, that was a really nice fight by HP there. That was some really clean edits and good movement. That John Wick was sort of just lurking in those builds, some sort of half-destroyed stuff. That can get really awkward when if you lose track of an enemy in those tight builds. Yeah, it's easy to come around the corner and just eat a shotgun right to the face.
The awareness. I mean, now that the pump's been vaulted, you don't have to worry as much about that one hit taking you out. But just the awareness of HP, he stayed very composed, kept the high ground, didn't feel like he had to drop and just clean up all those kills. He let them sit for a while and gave them a chance to potentially res, but they didn't need it. And we're going to see Ashland here. You're going to get that, I like to call them bubbles, but you're going to see the supply drop. Not going to pick up the gun, but it looks like, let's see if they...
It's like a gold
the gold
carbine?
marksman rifle. Yeah, so...
Which is, that gun, the recoil on that is so manageable. For mid-range, you can just laser people.
And ever since they changed the physics of that gun type to be hit scan, the thing just shreds right now. So it's a lot easier to use than it was when it was just the, the rare and common versions here.
Yeah, and we were talking about this earlier, with the state of AR spread right now, the marksman is just so, I would say, almost more effective than SCARs and your fully auto ARs there. So pushing in, they've got a player trapped down here.
And so Ashland did get a knock in this fight. HP Esports must have just swarmed here, or they pushed out together. HP Esports has a knock too, and Moldy's is down once again. So he was the one that was eliminated. And he did get rebooted, so Moldy's is down. Ashland has a knock in this fight, but this is, unfortunately, Moldy's was all alone here, and it does not look like, great use of the shout nades trying to move yourself forward, but HP is not in a position to really help them out. But we'll see if they're able to lock down that elimination that he got. So.
Yeah, looks like Moldy's is going to be finished off there. The reboot potentially available. But Servo is actually going to go down, so unable to finish that fight off.
Yeah, so it looks like it's just up to Chance.
End of Ashland there.
Up to Chance and HP. So we're gonna. So this is HP unable to get out there. 37 health, chasing the storm. But here's Chance here.
A good fight here. The enemy gets the high ground.
Oh, he's out of mats though. I mean.
Oh, that's rough.
That's just unfortunate. He's going to get sprayed from the top. I mean, and then we have HP that's just fighting the storm at this point. I mean, can he stay alive long enough here?
If he can get lucky, if he can get to a slipstream, or if he can get a portal rift, anything. There's lots of mobility options, but just when you're stuck in that position with no utility, it's so rough to just run in, especially when your teammate needs the support there. It looks like still up and fighting, but. Yeah, this is rough. No mats. It looks like 3 players, maybe a full squad here, progressing onto the skybase.
He catches the skybase slipstream and going to go up and throw himself up, and we still have HP fighting the storm, trying to get back into it.
Coming in. Shots from behind, a fresh build in front of him. He's going to have to get a kill here.
And HP Sports builds a little ramp here. He's gonna use the quad crasher to ramp in. He could land right on top of this fight and steal this kill from Ashland.
He's coming.
Oh,
eventually he will find his way.
Gets tagged up and he does get knocked. So Ashland, it looks like that is going to be it for game number 1. However, HP Esports is still in, and look at this. He ends up sneaking out with 9 HP. This is the team that's just been, they got a knock. HP clutched against 3 other players with 4 kills. I mean, they're up by 4 kills right now, so you could just hide in this corner and just wait out the game. Maybe get that victory royale and secure a few points, get some tags here. He's in a great position here. So HP may not be aware that are those players behind him that did knock Chance. So he's got no health. Probably going to look for something. He does see the slipstream player behind him, and this team
comes upon some bandages. Lucky with the heals there. probably hearing some steps, boxing himself in, or maybe just playing extra cautious.
Yeah, extra cautious at this point. Again, they don't necessarily know how many kills Ashland University's gold team got, but they can be pretty sure that they're most likely in the lead based on the kill feed. I mean, if HP did get that clutch earlier on in this game, so he's probably feeling very, very comfortable. If you can do that, when you need to in the game, and now you can just play your game. There's no stress at this point. When you have the lead, more heals coming in, so he's going to get topped off here, all the way to 100 max health here. He's got the new tactical assault rifle, the SMG, the combat shotgun. He's in circle. He's in the corner. He's in a great position here. Just close, and he sees the player.
The gun pokes out. This is
73 with that combat shotgun.
HP has had such good fights in this cornfield all day today.
He's lived in this cornfield. We got a llama skin come out.
Multiple players all around him, but
unable to. And that, I mean, that's the corn for you. You hide in it, someone else hides into it. So that's going to be the end of our first match and final here. It looks like, based on our reporting, that HP Esports is going to be in the lead here by a few. I think by 4 points. I think it was a 6-2 game. So we'll see as we move to the next one. On your screen, you see Ashland on the right, and then HP Esports on the left here. Looks like they're fixing some chairs around here, and those are the Cougar chairs that we're sitting in as well. One of the sponsors here of the event.
Yeah, that was some good action. So we did see, despite what we saw from HP in their semifinal rounds, they opted to stay kind of close to Ashland Gold. They didn't just do whatever they wanted. They sort of played that game, and it paid off for them in that round for sure.
That early game, they did something a little different. They landed with Ashland. They looted up, and then after that, they really just let Ashland kind of slowly dig themselves into a corner. You saw that fight happen. HOL came in, cleaned them up, then rotated out while they were healing, and then it almost looked like it was going to be over, but HP with that amazing 1v3 clutch gets the reboot on Moldy, and then they put him back in for up 4 points here. You can see the crowd here at Kings Island in the event hall, and now they're just waiting to get into our potentially final game, or maybe Ashland Esports forces a game number 3. I mean, they went to game 3 last game, so can they force it now? Because last game, it wasn't them that forced it. They said very comfortable where they were. So we're kind of going over some of these players again. I thought it was very interesting when we were watching it. It says that HP asked Moldy to make a montage for a stream, and they casually started playing together. So I wonder if HP is going to ask Moldy to clip that 1v3 clutch and throw it in his next montage. The irony there would be pretty interesting. But both these teams playing absolutely great. Lots of experience, lots of practice. Some young players here, some college students, and some younger players here that are looking to try to make a name for themselves here at the PiVIP event.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess this is not that uncommon of a setting for these guys. Most of them, or especially in the final here, these guys are sort of used to competing. They practice for this, but it is interesting to see. Sometimes the nerves come out. That may have been what we saw with Minnesota Nice in the earlier rounds, but they guys seem pretty unfazed.
Yeah, and
they seem comfortable. They seem like they're communicating well, and it's good composure. You were talking about before, keeping your composure, not getting tilted, not getting frustrated.
Exactly.
Neither of these teams seems like they're losing their heads.
They've definitely kept their composure, and this is a great event to come and practice in front of a full crowd. You see people staring at you. That way, when you go home in a few weeks trying to qualify for the World Cup, you get those nerves out of you so that when you get in that setting, you don't have to worry. But it looks like Ashland's going to hop right into that to the event again that we've seen before, and HP looks like they're outside of Salty, and they're also looks like they're heading right back to Fatal, so where they were that first game. And again, it looks like they're following each other once again. So I don't know if this is something that Ashland does, they follow, or if this is just their loot spot and it just happens to be that they're very close.
Yeah, certainly a lot of consistency in the drops. They have not all played out the same way. The rotates out and the way the initial fights have gone have been pretty diverse.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly still surprised we're not seeing more. That this is not as hot of a drop as I sort of anticipated it would be.
Yeah.
Because it really is a great place for rotating towards the zone in the mid game. But it's I guess it's just not popular in the pugs.
Yeah, it's very interesting. This Fatal Fields is actually my girlfriend's favorite drop. And the other day we decided we weren't going to drop here as much because it was just so contested with the reboot van and the slipstream. And to see very few players here, I'm sure when I go home, she's like, okay, we're going back to Fatal now. It wasn't contested. And that'd be great. But, in Fatal, no one here. It looks like Ashland rotating towards Salty. So I believe they're down by about 4 kills here. So if they can, make that difference, we'll see game 3. If not, HP Esports will be walking home with a grand prize today.
Does look like Ashland popping some shots there into Salty, spotting a squad here early on. So if Ashland can make quick work of these opponents, that'll be a good way to sort of even this out very early on in the match.
And this is Servo from Ashland University's goal team. He is a freshman at Ashland University. He's taking this fight. His teammate is right there. Chance is very close. He's up on the tower overlooking it, but looks like they're just going to nice boxes, a nice little tag there. And he pulls out that purple combat shotgun, trying to maybe get a finishing blow there. Yeah,
spraying down, kind of an awkward angle. Bottom right player there going down to 9 health, very low.
Very, very weak.
Heals, though.
Yeah, they do get that elimination, so that puts them up 1, closing that gap, hopefully forcing a game number 3 here. And as you can see right there is some more fighting happening. And look at that 68-68 right there. So Servo gets a nice elimination, putting 2 on the board.
2 early kills for Ashland. Exactly what they wanted, bringing the points back to almost even there early on in the match.
And just look at those shots coming up from Chance. Just great precision, great accuracy, tagging up, going to push forward. And Servo, again, when they talked about how the play style here, these players are complementing each other so well. One aggressive, one passive, just putting damage down.
They are starting to get a little bit spread out. It looks like if the top right player there gets into any trouble, he's probably going to be thirsted pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But good, a knock coming down from the bottom right there, Servo, I think. Just great accuracy at range here, tapping away with that marksman rifle. Another knock.
I mean, just again.
So 2, and there's one of them secured, and 4 kills on the table here. It looks like the reboot was maybe in process, or
it looks like they might just have gotten it off, and that's where that knock came. I mean, Chance coming to here to play, trying to force that game number 3. I mean, they just completely took over Salty, and you saw when we could see all 4 teams, HP Esports was trying to rotate there, but the rotation took too long, and now they've given up every kill that they had. So they net themselves, looks like 5 kills. So now we went from being up by 4 to potentially HP Esports is down by 1, and now they have to play catch up.
Yeah, HP with a really quiet start here. They are looted up. A drum gun, an SMG there, and a flintlock rifle, which is I don't know if that's what you want if you're seriously hunting kills, but useful for a little mobility if you get up close and personal with people.
Yeah, if you get up and close, it may be filling the role of that shotgun. It hits very, very, very hard. He does find the combat shot, and he's going to keep it. So maybe for some mobility. By 1, so they're going to have to make a move here, and Ashland University just slowly rotating out. So it'll be interesting to see if HP Esports starts to play catch up and starts to hover them.
Yeah, it looks like HP hopping in the slipstream and rotating northward, getting into the zone. Not sure where they're going to end up. Probably, honestly, just hunting, looking for builds,
looking for any fights, and they see someone in Mega Mall, but then they get shot at outside of Mega Mall. So I wonder if they're going to push this player together.
Yeah. Bottom left eats a bunch of damage.
75 gets knocked right away. Just an absolute
heavy shots there coming out, and probably going to get finished off. Yeah, the build. Actually, his teammates putting enough pressure that bottom left is just going to hang out there on the roof. But this could be rough for HP, and it could be the loss
and
of
just
the
like
match.
that, it looks like HP Esports is going to be knocked and eliminated. And I believe, if our math is correct, Ashland did edge them out in the points, but we'll have to wait for the tournament organizers to confirm that. But if you're Ashland, now you just got to play your game, lock up as many kills as possible, just in case it is tied. Just get as many kills as possible to guarantee.
They're in decent shape. No shields here on the player that we're spectating. The fight comes in. They're fighting for the high ground. It looks like Ashland's pretty secure on the high ground.
Yep.
The player dodging into the slipstream, going down to the building, but not evading the watchful eyes of Ashland here.
Ooh. Looks like it's down to Chance now.
Yeah, Chance the last one up, and fighting in that house, trying to get the kill on this last person. Goes for the edit, not as clean as it could have been.
So I wonder if there's confirmation that they have won here, because he's dropping all of his loot. He is going to dance, and he is going to get eliminated by that player. So I'm curious if they got the go-ahead and the green light that they inched him up by 1 point, but we'll have to find out there. But
yeah, but I'm going to guess that means we're going on to a third match here. Yeah, I doubt Chance wanted to give that up unless he knew for sure.
Yeah, so they're definitely a third match or potentially inching out. I'm not completely sure how they do the best of 3, if it's each individual game or it's pooled together here. But I mean, we just saw Ashland Esports play the same game, landed in the exact same spot, rotating to Salty, and when it came down to a chance, just very, very aggressive, and Servo just putting down that damage and cleaning up those kills there.
Yeah, those marksman rifle shots were really crisp, hitting back-to-back headshots, hitting just solid damage at long range.
And you had mentioned it in the previous game when he picked up the gold one, how good it is medium range, and then we see game number 2, he just starts taking shots and just weakening up and really just giving Chance the opportunity to just clean up kills here. So, I mean, we just saw the HP Sports guys, they're laughing as they load up into the next lobby, so they don't seem phased. I mean, this is everything here. The Ashland guys, great comeback to force the game 3, but, those both Game 1 and Game 2 were so close that either one of these teams could inch it out in this last one.
Yeah, I mean, that really was just bad luck for HP in that round, too. The way they were taken out there, they were not that far apart.
Yeah,
they were rotating fairly close together, and just great shots coming in from that opponent.
Yeah, that player that
barely missed on that first HP player that got taken out.
Eliminated an HP Esports player in the lobby, actually killed all 4 of them. I mean, the last kill was a givey, he gave it to him. But as you can see, HP Sports looks like they're going right back to Fatal Fields. It seems to be comfortable. And then Ashland, I don't know if Ashland maybe going back to their same spot outside of Fatal and outside of Salty, or if they're going to rotate in here.
It looks like they're pinging the sky base.
Or they're just pinging to annoy their...
But yeah.
Yeah, because your whole team sees those pings.
Just a little spam there on the HUD for everybody. Looks like Ashland is going right back to their favorite spot there.
Yeah. And we see a combat shotgun coming out of Chance here, and then we got Servo with the tac shotgun in that SMG in the shield pot. So it looks like the same rotation, and if you're HP Esports, you just want to play your game in Fatal, do what you did in the corn in match number 1, get those kills.
Already secured, though, for HP there. Getting the tac early in the house, getting the knock, and not sure, it was a knock, so there are players around, but not sure how imminent that threat is, so... Good start for HP.
Very interesting to see if Ashland pushes into Salty as they have every game, or if they push back to Fatal to see if they can clean up some of those kills here. And it looks like they're actually going to head right to Salty, so that may be what they drop these houses, rotate into Salty. I'm curious if this is the same drop location they would see in like a World Cup game, if they drop outside of Salty and they're just very comfortable there.
It certainly seems like they've got consistent loot there. There's not a ton of
that
structures,
vending machine.
But they seem, that vending machine, and they seem to get a couple chests. They don't always end up with a lot of heals. Has been a problem for them, but the guns they come out with seem to be enough for them to work with early game.
We've seen both these teams put the new combat shotgun to use in the desired range, but look at this nice little fight here.
Got a fish in the barrel, get the knock, and the kill is going to be confirmed there.
So we're back to tied here.
Yeah, 1-1 early on in this final round of the final match.
But just as we say that, HP Esports does lock down
two
more kills, and he's going for the third one. He gets the 38 tag. He's getting aggressive here.
A squad wipe here for HP. It comes in.
Oh, that was a thirst.
No, that was thirst.
Oh no!
Oh fight.
No!
Missing
and he does connect
with 6 health,
6 HP.
remaining.
So
5 kills.
5 kills.
Confirmed
5 kills to Ashland Esports 1 right now.
Yeah, that's a great start. That's basically exactly what
and here comes potential another one.
In danger, though.
Another knock
comes in. Great shots. Really nice.
And here comes the emote. They've done it every single game, and they're just going to pop it out right here. And then... so that's...
more kills coming right to him. I don't know if HP's quite ready for that fight, but they're going to pop out. And
looks like they're still up. Ashland
looks like something just popped in the kill feed. There's probably another kill for HP.
That's going to be 2 for them. Almost reminded me of my Halo days there for a second, like all these players dropping in killing spree, double, triple, over. But it does look like HP Esports is still alive here, looking for these players.
It looked like right before we cut away from Ashland there, they may have spotted some enemies going to engage. HP hitting the good.
Nice little spray.
Good shots there. No shields left here.
And look at that knock. As soon as he knocks, drops the wall, gets the thirst, another kill for them. And that's a knock, which means there's other... Going to go right back to the corn. This is his safe spot right here.
Yeah, the corn has been just killer for HP today. They have great patience playing inside, waiting for players to come to them. It looks like Ashland using that shadow
nade
there.
Here.
Getting up top, still not on the high ground, kind of in a bad spot. Perhaps his teammate.
Yeah, but Servo's building up as well.
Yeah.
Trying to see if he can connect, potentially knocking him down here. Hopefully he doesn't knock his teammate down.
Looks like...
Servo's knocked, though. I don't know if that was fall damage.
I think it might have
been
the
great fall. That was with the great fall, and there we go. So just like that, one fight is it, and I think that means HP Esports
Yeah,
the only ones left.
I'm sure
And
HP is going to keep playing it out until they are definitely sure about the result here. But HP getting 7 kills in this
again
round?
in Fatal Fields around that corner. So once again, probably waiting for confirmation, and then
they just came right to him too. That first engagement where they got the wipe early on was great, and then people just trickled in one at a time, gliding in, just gifting them those kills. A little bit of luck on HP's part there, but they also hit some very nice shots.
And he drops the F emote. He's going to knock himself here. So it looks. I mean, if you're HP Sports, I don't think you would ever knock yourself unless you were 100% certain that you had won game number 3. So it looks like that is what these players have done. A little bit of editing, building here. But it was over before we saw the fight start with Ashland, and then we saw the knock from the fall damage again. This is the first time that Ashland was knocked by fall, and then it was over. Just trying to pickaxe the last player here.
Going for a little BM with the pickaxe just for fun, but really just some amazing shots there. HP was down 20 health, 30 health. Yeah. They were taking a lot of damage and just hitting the clutch shots with that combat shotgun.
Yeah,
was just so powerful.
When we saw either whether they hit with the combat shotgun, then switch to a spray weapon, or just hit, drop a wall, and then edit, they were very consistent. I mean, that's the second time today that they've gone into Fatal Fields and they've dropped 7 kills in the corn with multiple teams pushing them. I mean, it was one player after another, players just feeding, dropping on them, and as you can see, that is HP Sports, who most likely will be confirmed our winners here for the Fortnite event at Kings Island here. But great performance by them. They were laughing before that game, and it definitely showed that they were not nervous at all, and they cleaned that one up very, very easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys were having fun from the very beginning, even in their first round.
Yeah, they were dropping emotes, and they were having a good time.
Yeah, it's. I can tell you from my experience, it's hard to stay that lighthearted about it, especially when you're being competitive. When there's it's on the line, you've practiced for this. You're on a stage in front of people. I would not be that lighthearted.
Yes,
it's so easy to get salty and
it's very easy to get tilted, even just when you're playing with your friends. But you could just definitely see HP Sports didn't phase them. They laughed. They said, "We got this." And Ashland, a great play by them. It's just unfortunate that one player and the fall damage came out, and it seems like they played a little bit different of a game that final round, rather than hovering like they did almost every other game. They played separate, and then as soon as HP got those eliminations, it almost seemed like Ashland was trying to make something happen, but when you miss a build and you fall to your death, it's hard to come back from that. So.
Yeah, well, we certainly had a couple moments in that final matchup there where both teams kind of ran into some bad luck. In the first round, I think it was HP was on a rotate, they were in a good position, and they just got absolutely decimated by just some random on the server who was feeling it and hitting the shots. And it seemed like that may have been what happened to Ashland there. They just sort of ran into a good player and had a bad initiation of the fight.
Yeah, you never know how it's going to turn out. But I mean, they put their best foot forward, and the HP Sports, I still can't believe 2-3 teams pushed them there. And they just kept, again, that shotgun and spray, their edits they're building. I mean, at one point, I think HP himself is healing inside a box, and his teammates getting kills while he's healing up. So, and as you can see on your screen at home, this is the Kings Island event hall. So everyone that's sitting out here watching the event, and we got a few more esports left up for the day. So Fortnite may be done, but we have League of Legends. We still have Overwatch left. There's a lot left. We got to meet up with Markiplier later. You have a meetup and a podcast coming up in a few minutes as well. So
yeah, absolutely. It's like a note being passed in here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it looks like we are ready to throw it
over to Jess, I think.
Over to Jess on the stage,
interview with the winners with HP Esports.
In a minute, in 1 minute.
Thank you.
So in 1 minute, up on the stage. Okay. Oh, maybe right now? I heard Jess say thank you. But it looks like we are going to take an interview with the winners and see how they, more about them. Again, we've talked about them, new teammates, and now they're, walk away as the champions here. So that must be a nice, good thing to be feeling as as teammates since October here. So.
Yeah, well, and they keep showing it on stream before we leave you. Stream. This is a new event. There have been some preview events, but PiviP, this convention that we're at, it's at Kings Island. It's an amusement park here in located near Cincinnati, Ohio. It's a cool new esports and gaming convention.
Yeah.
And this is really the first big one. And honestly, this has been really great. I've been here since about noon, and I haven't even seen all the exhibitors yet. There's tables around, great stuff to see.
Colleges.
Cougar's got a thing here, and there's Extra Life is here set up, talking about what their mission, and there's exhibitors I've yet to see, but it's really cool. I've never been to a convention in a theme or an amusement park like this.
I mean, I'm going to go after this, take off the tie and the shirt. It's a little hot in here, and then maybe ride some rides and meet some of the people that were playing here. But as you mentioned, PiviP, it's right now located in Ohio in the Midwest around Cincinnati, but it's a great place for gamers, not just to game together, but really enjoy each other's company, get to know each other, meet some people in the industry. Again, I've seen Ashland University over there with their coaches here. We have other colleges here talking about scholarships. So if you're a parent, like, this is an opportunity to see, is this really something that my child can do in college? And there are people here talking about that. So
well, that's true too. As it grows, it's going to be interesting to see how PiviP develops and who gets involved. But now we are in fact ready to throw it onto the stage
with Jess.
For an interview with Jess and the winners, HP Gaming.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you guys so much. So congratulations, very well played. Can we give them a round of applause? So can you tell me a little bit, how has your experience been here at PiviP?
Oh, I think it was awesome. I know some of the players, and they're really cool, so I got to hang out with them and talk to them, but it really was an awesome experience to be here.
How about you?
It's been really easy to do everything, to get everything set up. You guys have been really helpful with telling us everything and making it really clear. And yeah, it was just really well put together.
That's awesome to hear. Can you tell the audience a little bit about you guys' journey to get here?
Well, we actually met on Fortnite from 1v1ing each other, and we were just talking trash, and then we became duo partners, and then we just started entering a few tournaments and found this one.
Did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, Boldy's a great partner, and I'm glad to have him as my duo.
Fantastic. Well, then what is next for you guys in the world of Fortnite and beyond?
Fortnite World Cup is definitely one of them, even though it's hard to qualify for. And then just more tournaments like this. They're really fun to play in.
Anything to add?
No, that's about right.
And then finally, do either of you have any shout outs that you would like to give to anyone watching back home, or plug your social media channels or any of that good stuff?
Yeah. So first of all, our esports team, HP, and then Blood for the great playlist that we listen to when we play. So that's one of them.
Yeah, shout out to Blood for the playlist, always hyping us up before the tournaments. We were listening to it here as we were warming up on the Discord music bot.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. Congratulations and well played. Let's give them another round of applause. All right. Those of you who are watching here in the park, I hope you're having a fantastic time. Don't go anywhere. There's plenty to do here at PiviP. Those watching on stream, we are headed to a quick break.